Alright, get to round 3 of the August previews. We got iDragon, book 1 of 3. A new medieval fantasy saga from the author of the Metabarons begins. The fiefdom of the royal family, Rosenthal Castle, faces its darkest hours, surrounded by a massive army, led by a bastard descendant of a lost royal line. She has returned to reclaim her throne, igniting a long and bloody struggle for power. Meanwhile, inside the castle, a strange carnival woman gives birth to her first child. Previously released in Spanish, this series is making its English debut, bringing a new dimension to the medieval fantasy saga. I've seen iDragon before written like that. I thought it was in magazine form back probably 20 years ago, but not sure where I seen that, but it stood out. So, but they're talking like it's brand new, so. But it does say now in a larger format, so they obviously did do it before. So yeah, they lied to me. Alright, jumping over to starring Sonia Devereaux, Combat Nurse number 1, by Brian and Brendan Frame, Nick Kapatanakis. America's 306th Best Actress returns with her latest low-budget blockbuster, Combat Nurse. Hospital under siege. When the world's greatest brain surgeon is taken hostage in his own hospital by an elite team of freelance assassins, can his girlfriend nurse Mary Smith, Sonia Devereaux, save him while having to confront her own mysterious past? It's a high-octane action thriller set in a hospital, but instead of a grizzled veteran, New York cop, it's Sonia as a sexy nurse, and guest stars B-movie sensation Sarah French, Blind. Yeah, I don't know if I ordered any of the other Sonia Devereaux ones yet. I'd like to at least see what the character is all about. Jumping over to the Little Stooges. This is a thing from the past, so I'm surprised this isn't a facsimile edition, because this cover right here is a reprint of the old school one. But this is done by Pete Alvarado, Joe Kubert, Norman Mauer. It's back to the age of groove with the Little Stooges. Out of print for over 50 years, this story chronicles the adventures of the Three Stooges' sons, Moe Jr., Larry Jr., and Curly Joe Jr., in wacky adventures that only the early 1970s could deliver, featuring the artwork of the legendary Norman Mauer. This is a classic tale of rebellious youth as three of the grooviest goofballs you'll ever meet try to catch the mysterious burglars in Burgle Gurgle. Printed on throwback paper stock and delivering more funk than a 3-day-old sardine sandwich. Yeah, it's basically feels like it should have been a facsimile edition. Alright, jump over to, looks like Teether, Parental Guidance, number 1 of 4. Ancient evil in a young, innocent guise. It hungers for flesh and souls. David Hutchinson serves up another big bite of his hit Eldritch horror series. Lost in the woods on a hunting trip, a man and his son encounter a mysterious girl living in the wild. When hideous creatures trap them in an abandoned cabin, A bloody fight for survival ensues as it becomes clear the girl and the creatures have an unknown connection. We got A Tiny Island Over the Kingdom Under the Sea. Number one shot. Inspired by the classic Japanese fairy tale Urashima Taro, a young woman discovers an underwater kingdom that foretells 3 possible futures, but each one may come with a deadly consequence. An epic fantasy tale that's not to be missed. From the writers of Interstellar Dust. Alright. Now we got a big jump. And of course, the one page I want always has to stick. We got Epic NPC Man, Hero Outage. This is by Fred Van Lent and Bailey Rosenlund. From Viva La Dirt League and Bad Egg comes the biggest fantasy tale of the year. Epic NPC Man, Hero Outage number 1. Based on the hit streaming show, Hero Outage features the heroic stylings of the heroes of Honeywood, a humble crew of farmers, fisherfolk, and blacksmiths. Can these NPCs level up and save the world of Azerim from falling into the worst fate of all? Utter boredom? I don't know that show. I don't remember ever hearing about it. I'm not sure what platform it's playing on. We got The Young Nomads number 1. New universe, new heroes, new adventure. Battle Quest Comics is proud to introduce The Young Nomads. This original series chronicles the odyssey of 2 rival teens who quest for an all-powerful weapon. Their only hope to defeat the evil invaders that plague their land. This first issue is double-sized with 40 pages of story. Then we got Eat, Sleep, Reap, Repeat. These are done by various people. Roger Mortis, an entry-level reaper at Death & Company, a company that oversees the delicate balance between life and death. Roger, with his laid-back attitude, navigates his days snacking and napping, bringing an unconventional charm to the otherwise somber business of soul collection. Bumper-sized first issue of 63 panel strips. And that looks like about it for that page. And we got The Demon Inside number 1 by Paul Castellanato and Greg Warrenchak. After a tragic accident, Eva is hunted by a terrifying demon from her past. Well, that really is a great description. We got Headsman number 1, limited foil cover, so that's a special cover for something that's already been out. So we don't need to go over that. We got Monsters in Your Head number 1 by Snake and Horatio Moriarty. Whitney Dangerfield is a sweet and optimistic 8-year-old schoolgirl. But she's got problems. Her father's got a mean temper on him. Also, a bullying meanie at school keeps picking on her. And on top of that, she's terrible at talking to the boys she fancies. But those aren't the worst things, because Whitney also believes monsters are real. In fact, she's been referred to a psychologist because she sees them all the time, and no one believes her. And yeah, I got Mud and Madness number 1. Experience a double dose of horror with Nacht Feast and Carnus Nocturnus. Crafted by father and son writers Peter Bro. acclaim for his grip. We don't need to worry about what he did in the past. We just care about the current stuff right now. They are teaming up with the talented artist Brian McKish, and he's using like 7 lines just talking about the people. Let's talk about the stories. 2 chilling tales that will haunt your nightmares. In Nacht Feast, journey into the heart of World War I, where Canadian soldiers face off against Dracula himself on the battlefield as they fight for survival against the undead. A daring plan emerges to stop the bloodthirsty menace. So you're able to talk about Nacht Feast, give that 3 lines, give the people's names freaking 6, 7 lines, and you never even talk about the other story. I want to know what the other story's about. The first one doesn't really interest me that much. So, yeah, you guys gotta learn to give a nice little description if you want to sell your product. It's common sense. It's how the world works. Jump a few pages here to let's see here. What do we got that's brand new on this page? Looks like Art and Courage, The Rewards and Perils of Making Art, by Emil Wilson, James Sturm, and Emil Wilson. Since its release in 1993, Art and Fear has become a classic, selling hundreds of thousands of copies. It has inspired people to create, persist, and grow. Working with the original authors, the Center for Cartoon Studies has created a comic book inspired by the original, not to be missed. It's a guide to navigating the perils of making art. Probably great for some up-and-coming artist. We got Midnight Tiger Origins by Ray Anthony Height and Dwayne Fienstra. Meet Gavin Shaw, a disillusioned teen living in the crime-infested city of Apollo Bay. On the verge of losing all faith in the capes and tights of his world, fate steps in and gives him an opportunity to do the things they won't, and fight the battles they don't. Finally, having the means to do something and wanting to put his newfound abilities to good use, Gavin becomes the crime fighter known as Midnight Tiger and begins his assault on the gangs and drug dealers of Apollo Bay, making a name for himself as the city's new protector. Gavin quickly begins to realize that something a lot more sinister than inner-city street crime is actually plaguing Apollo Bay, and he may be powerless to stop it. I seen it. I was hoping it was going to be some type of lucha libre type character going all vigilante, but nope. You got Trample One Shot by Garrett Gunn and Samir Simeo and Ruben Moko. When her child is harmed in a trap meant for her, a vengeful mother is forced to hunt down and destroy the lives of those responsible. Twice. I'm guessing it's a Raging Elephant storyline. Not my cup of tea. Not going to listen to a bunch of animal abuse. But I'll listen to all the human abuse you can bring me. Alright, we got next few pages. We got some stuff here. We got Hell Witch vs. Lady Death Wargasm #1 Premiere Edition. That's chapter 4 of the Hell Witch story, so we don't need to go over that. We got La Marta Vengeance #1 Premiere Edition. That's chapter 3 of that story. This is chapter 16 of the Lady Death Diabolical Harvest. Yeah. You got the art of some Lady Death stuff, but yeah, they're just... Ryan Polito's just dumping all kinds of stuff out there. I thought some of it was new, but I guess not. We got The Theme of Thieves #1 In a world where randomly vanishing is a societal way of life, we meet two teens coming of age as they navigate the perils of high school. Meanwhile, a mysterious man travels through time to try to solve the mystery of why people are continually disappearing in the present. We got Fourth Dimensional Summer of Fun graphic novel. As if young adulthood isn't hard enough, Ava's world is turned upside down when an extra-dimensional fugitive named Mon falls right into it. Literally, the upside. Mon turns out to be the unlikely ally Ava didn't know she needed. The downside, he's brought all the dangers and oddities of his dimension with him. That's ongoing. We've got Frankie Boy Monster. Number 1 by Morgan Herone. Growing up is hard enough, but it's even harder when you're a reanimated boy also trying to deal with the isolation of a helicopter parent. He's a hero who's more than the sum of his parts. Little Frankenstein teenager type story going on there. We got Printopia by Bob Fingerman. It's his first all-new graphic novel in over a decade. Is a smart satirical story set in New York City, featuring a cast of eccentric creators unleashing their visions on the world. Part Ghost World, part Acid Trip, experience what Matt Groening described as brilliantly written, masterfully drawn, funny as hell. It looks interesting, but it's got a $25 price tag on it. Termite Mountain number 1 by Matt Haworth. Rescued from Haworth's 90s era vaults, the sci-fi epic fits right into the genre he created with Star-Crossed and Keith Lama. One man dares to climb to the top of the termite mound. Will his daring act free a society under siege? Will a mysterious dreadlocked man keep him safe? Find out in this 3-part epic. Yeah, the Carols of Cthulhu horrifying holiday hymns from the lore of H.P. Lovecraft for Lovecraft fans. We got Space Dragon graphic novel by Christopher Retta and Alonso Molina Gonzalez. After his habitat planet runs dry, a gigantic dragon travels through space in search of a new water source, with an alien bird passenger. But when he fails to find any drinkable water, the dragon must learn to push on through the unknown to avoid dying of thirst. Okay. Nice little She omnibus there. She 30th Anniversary Art Edition. We got Wallow number 1. In the enchanted lands of Hearth, magic flows and demons roam free. Mages hide from persecution and war is ever present. Amidst this turmoil, the Wallow family lives peacefully in the grove, shrouded away, but as ancient forests stir, their hidden past threatens to unravel their tranquil existence. We got Deprog by Tina Horn and Lisa Sterrell. Meet Tate Debs, a hard-boiled, hard-drinking, leather-loving dyke detective with an office in the back of Los Angeles' last video store. Tate specializes in rescuing and deprogramming people from abusive groups with extreme beliefs, like the one Tate herself escaped that believed in interdimensional travel and taboo ritual sex. When a femme named Vera, who may just be Fatale, hires Tate to infiltrate a group of mystical hippies out in the desert, she must decide if Vera's charms are worth being re-traumatized. Soon, Tate must face her past out of devotion to the femme she may be falling for, and a single-minded drive to avenge her family. Okay, we got Macho Mojo, a Hap and Leonard graphic novel. Based on the Sundance TV series, Leonard is still nursing the injuries he sustained in the duo's last wild undertaking when he learns that his Uncle Chester has passed. Hap is, of course, going to be there for his best friend, and when the two are cleaning up Uncle Chester's dilapidated house, they uncover a dark little secret beneath the house's rotting floorboards. A small skeleton buried in a trunk. Hap wants to call the police. Leonard, being a black man in East Texas, persuades him this is not a good idea, and together they set out to clear Chester's name on their own. The only thing standing in their way is a house full of felons, a vicious killer, and possibly themselves. Interesting. Alright. Jump in. Oh, we're not going too far. One page here. Let's see. That's ongoing. That's on World of Monsters. Looks like Afterlife, The Boy Next Realm by Gina Chu and Nahir Noor. Kira's younger brother is stricken with an ailment that has no cure. The last thing she needs is to find a mysterious boy lurking in the hospital. But where did he go? And why does she feel this inexplicable connection to him? Spirit Keeper Eric isn't prepared for this. He was just there to do his job and bring a soul into the afterlife. Little did he expect to run into a too familiar face from his past in the land of the living. In this great expanse where what's lost is found, fate, memories, and love intertwine as Kira and Eric embark on a daring rescue mission to save a little boy from death's clutches. Alright, we are jumping a few pages to Come Find Me, an Autumnal Offering by Becky Cloonan and Friends. It's a new 48-page one-shot from Distillery in Come Find Me, an Autumnal Offering. Curates a coven of the most sinister, trailblazing storytellers in sequential art for a haunting collection destined to become a Halloween tradition. Within these pages, Cloonan unearths a corpse with 2 coins laid over its decaying eyes. When an opportunistic thief robs the cadaver of its last possessions, a sinister curse erupts, dooming all it touches. Hamlet Machine, Lucifer's Garden, presents a chilling tale of musical demon who makes Faustian pacts with unsuspecting victims, creating minor key symphonies of human pain. Celine Loop, and The Man Who Came Down the Stairs, and 2 other secret contributors join this insidious bonfire to conjure a modern, all-female descent into folk horror dread. Why do you have to be secret contributors? Why wouldn't you just tell who the artists and writers are, and so people like them, they can follow them? Why do they have to be secret? Come Find Me also offers a first look into the world of Cloonan's next Distillery series. But I don't know. For something that's going to be a regular thing for Halloween, I like Becky Cloonan, but I don't know. They're just not giving me enough information on it. Got some more pictures of it here and stuff. I was hoping they'd show some pages, but don't see no page work on here. Now we're going to do another big jump to, let's see here. That's ongoing. It looks like Portfolio by Mark Schultz. During an impressive period, 2005 to 2012, he turned his attention to producing a body of personal work and private commissions. So yeah, if you're into Mark Schultz, this book's for you. It's like, keep losing where my page mark. Next page is, oh yeah, Svengoolie. I was so happy to see that we got a Svengoolie comic coming out for Halloween. That was awesome. Very happy. Svengoolie just needs to get rid of these two goofballs. It's like, they just drive me nuts. Just keep nostalgia for Atu and Svengoolie. That's all you need. But you got the story of Svengoolie. Host classic horror movies with fun segments, campy jokes, and puns. Facts, trivia, and fan mail. They're just talking about the show there. Then we get to, this is the one we just had. It just came out not long ago. This October marks the 3rd annual Bonanza month-long celebration on MeTV. It's also Sven's 45th anniversary on TV. All the buzz for Bonanza 2024 makes it the perfect time to create excitement and interest. Place your orders today for the next sensational comic book dropping in October. And here it is. The 45th anniversary of Svengoolie. I want to cover with nostalgia for Atu, but I don't want the Gwengoolie gal and the imp on my cover. Just nostalgia for Atu and Sven. Let's see. TV horror host Svengoolie celebrates his 45th on-air anniversary on Halloween in scary style with a series of stories written by Sven and all the members of the Sven Squad. Sven and a new set of ghoulish heroes confront the Day of the Doorbell demons, while nostalgia for Atu, Gwengoolie, and Imp each appear in their own solo story. This is a must-read for the Halloween season. Well, I'm glad Nostalgia gets its own story. That I'm happy about. This is by Rich Kaz, Jim Roche, Chris Faulkner with Bill Leff, Sarah Palmer, and Scott Greeter. Yeah, Bill Morrison, Scott Shaw with Joe Stanton, and Liam M.G. for artist. Yeah. I'll probably cover A and B. Just because this is page 348 on, so yeah. Alright, now we're taking another big jump, and we do have another nice little write-up for Svengoolie here too that you can check out. And then we are jumping over to Nightmare Before Christmas, the visual archive for fans of Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, Cthulhu Deep Down Under graphic novel. But the one we're looking at is The Human Fly by Christopher Segura and Jay Scherpenhuisen. The real-life former Marvel hero, The Fly, commences a deadly series of performances down the west coast of North America, only to face a masked enemy with an evil agenda. Looks fun and goofy with the Fly character. And then we're jumping over to, looks like Killtown #1 by Regina Kim, Alexander Santana, Sergio Malagrito, And variety of cover artist it looks like. In development with Sony Entertainment, full of horror-fueled action, X-Posse's Kill Town is a spin-off of their Night of the Cadillacs comic book series. Street savvy Min wants to make her mark in the world. However, she feels held back in her role as a money runner with the Seven Stars Mob, the biggest crime syndicate in Koreatown, Los Angeles. When Min takes things into her own hands to usurp Vince, the notorious Seven Stars Mob boss, her plan backfires. Min is shot execution style and left for dead. That's not nice. And it looks like we're going to end it there. I was surprised to finally see Rebel Girls number 4 out. It's like, I feel like it took a while for between 3 and 4, so I don't know what's up with that. But I could be wrong, but it just felt like it was a little bit too long of a break. But I think I'm going to stop this episode here, and we'll get back with episode 4 in a little bit. So keep following Under the Call of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend. Give us those likes, and we'll keep putting it out. Alright, bye.